How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Geek-Stew, and specifically, welcome back to Ctrl/C, a gaming podcast. Honestly, I've considered just removing the whole gaming podcast thing because 99% of the time we don't talk about games. I kid, but anyways, welcome everybody. Today I'm joined, of course, by your host Salsa Shark, and of course I am Mike Isaacs. How are we doing today, Salsa?
Well, I have how do I put this? It's only like 5:45, and I've already urinated 16 times today, so I think I need to see a doctor.
Probably. How much liquid you drinking? What are you drinking that's causing you to urinate so much?
Let's see, what all have I drinking today? About 2 shots Crown Royal whiskey, a shot of Bullet bourbon, 2 Coca-Colas, I think, had a bit of milk. Yeah.
How is your stomach just not fucking rotting? Like, if I were to take one shot of like whiskey, like I would probably shit my pants.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely lying about everything I just said, but fuck, man.
It's fair.
I do love me some whiskey and milk. Not at the same time, unless I've had too much whiskey.
Then you're like that. I start doing shots of milk with my whiskey.
Shit, dude, gotta get some of that creamy in there to fuck around with the barrel-aged whiskey.
Actually, speaking of whiskey, and then we can get into our thing. I think I told you about this, but there's this bourbon that's coming out. It's called Brothers Bourbon. It's from there's those 2 guys. I think we talked about this before, but there is a show called The Vampire Diaries, and there are these 2 characters in the show that they play brothers, but they're not actually related in real life. But the one guy's name is like Ian Somerhalder, and the other one I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Anytime that we talk about this guy, like I always forget his name, but like I think he's like super cool, and I always feel bad forgetting his name. Vampire Diaries, Paul Wesley. So, anyways, Ian Somerhalder and Paul Wesley, they're making a bourbon called Brothers Bourbon, and the other day, like I saw somebody like talking about it, and apparently it's like super fucking good. So like I'm gonna have to get a bottle, and then next time we see each other, we'll have to try it.
Sounds decent enough. It's weird. I don't drink a lot of whiskey or bourbon, but I own an absolute fuck ton of it. Like literally, I own almost every version of Crown Royal they have, outside of the stuff that's like $100 a bottle. Funny enough, I think one of my favorite whiskeys is it's that one they used in Supernatural that Rufus was a huge fan of. It's
Jason?
British. No, that's Irish.
Oh, you're talking about Johnny Walker.
Yeah, Johnny Walker. I just drink the red label stuff because I'm poor. But I've heard good things about the other kinds.
I was gonna say the other versions, like I've heard that the blue label is really good, but it's like fucking expensive as hell.
I'll tell you, best thing is back during World War II, Winston Churchill. The dude was a mad lad. In the middle of a war, he literally drank like a glass of wine with every meal, including breakfast. Between meals, he would drink Scotch highballs, which is literally Johnny Walker Red Label, which was his favorite kind, mixed with seltzer water and a dash of bitters if you're feeling fancy. And that's not even counting the other shit he would drink. Like, between the Scotch highballs and the wine, he would drink stouts. He would also smoke cigars. So the World War II is going on, and this dude is absolutely fucking blitzed, going on about, let's fuck the Germans. I respect that.
Damn. Absolutely fucking epic. Didn't you made us Scotch highballs or whatever the hell it was called, didn't you?
Yeah,
What did you say was in that again?
literally just. I mean, it's literally just Johnny Walker Red Label and seltzer water, and I like to throw in some bitters to sparkle it up.
Hmm.
It's a very refreshing drink, in my opinion.
That's what I was gonna say. Because I remember I was at your house, I think. Yeah, because we drank that because it was like back in like May, I think, kind of like at the very beginning of all this shit.
I
Like
mean,
back
don't
in
don't bring up like times, because the entire pandemic I've just been like, is it Wednesday yet? And it's like the Tuesday after. See, what I said made no sense because I cannot tell time anymore.
Same. I honestly, with like everything with COVID and everything else, like I just have no idea anymore.
I wake
Literally
up,
no
I
idea.
eat, I shit, I go to bed. I don't ask about the days anymore.
Well, honestly, the only reason that I have any concept of a time is because, well, lack of a better phrase, I have to work. I have to fucking work for a living because I'm not salsa over here being unemployed.
Bro, I wish I was unemployed. At least then I'd get a fucking check in the mail.
Exactly. Fucking man. Oh Lord, get a fucking check in the mail. I wish. I fucking wish.
Yo, how about Bo Jiden owes me fucking $2,000?
Bo Jidem. He
Fucking
owes you.
Bo Jiden.
I know we're getting 1,400 here pretty soon, so you know
He's already
that
on
should be
thin
pretty
fucking
legit.
ice for 1,400. He said 2,000. I deserve 2,000. I'll let it slip this time, but I swear on Ja, if he drops it one more time, I will personally pay him a visit and turn his ass red.
All right, so we're gonna pretend like you just did threaten the president of the United States on a recorded line.
Hey, I threatened him with a spanking. What's the fucking FBI gonna do to me for that?
Because they're going to make you commit suicide.
I am going to bend Bo Jiden over my knee, and I'm gonna slap his pretty little ass raw.
So this is a very interesting way to start our podcast, but all right, fair
Yeah,
enough.
welcome to Control Over C, a political podcast.
Apparently,
On
honestly, I've thought about it. Like Control Overseas is like a fun name, but like we just need to like drop the gaming podcast at this point because 99% of the time we don't even talk about games. Sometimes, but
I mean, who fucking cares, man? Just leave it as a gaming podcast, but we can talk about whatever. Who's gonna sue us? Us?
yes, I'm going to sue you, Salsa. I'm going to literally sue you for whatever it is that you have.
Nice fucking try. I've already got a class action lawsuit in the works.
Yeah, do you? Against who? Me?
Who the fuck else?
Fair. I say
I will
the.
sue you for all $22 you have in your bank account.
I mean, to be fair, I actually have more than that. I have like 2 grand. I've been saving. No response to that.
No. You said 2 grand?
Yeah, approximately.
So I have, in a recording, proof that you have more money than you let on. So now I can sue you for at least 2 grand.
Shut the fuck up. You ain't doing shit.
This is legal precedent.
Okay, but you forget the part where I didn't do anything. I like how we're stipulating a possible lawsuit over fucking nothing.
Well, that's not true. Who's to say, I don't know, that you shot me in the leg?
I didn't. At what point did I shoot you in the leg?
Give me 1 second.
Plays a soundbite of a gunshot. BRB.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm back. So yeah, as I was saying, this is audio proof that Ike shot me in the leg.
Shit.
Fuck. I'm out of bullets.
I was just saying, it's probably an airsoft gun.
Damn, he's out of bullets. Thank God I didn't get shot today.
You're fucking stupid.
Oh, that's pretty much my life's goal at this point.
To die.
Well, to die and be stupid. You've seen my Twitter.
Sorry about
All
that,
right.
guys. I had to respond to somebody. Anyways, so outside of Salsa trying to sue me for a supposed gunshot, so small recap from last time, guys. We talked a lot about fault, like because we in the past couple podcasts, we kind of talked about some different games that, for lack of a better phrase, had a lot of hype and then they just kind of fizzled out. So we talked about Fall Guys. We talked about the Division 2 and how the Division 2 could suck our big fat cocks. And then in addition to that, we also talked about how Battlefield 5 isn't a horrible game, but it's one of those situations where it could be better if we had just the right. Basically, it just needs to be. It should have had more press, as we've talked about before, but it's not a horrible game. Otherwise, that was pretty much it, unless I'm missing something from last week.
No, I mean, that's about it. I do think we should probably mention that this episode might be a little short, because, even though I don't do anything, I do have things to do, funny enough.
Which is so weird to me because you basically, I mean, when we live near each other, you did nothing, and when you moved away, you do nothing.
Well,
Basically, there should be no reason you should exist.
I say that every day, but no one will fucking man up and take me out of this world.
Including yourself.
It's like, goddamn, people want to complain about my existence, but they're too much of a pussy to put a round between my eyes.
It's fair enough. Anyways, I promise, guys, we actually don't want each other dead, but this is just how it be. Anyways,
I don't know about each other, but I do want myself dead.
I wish to be not alive.
I want to be aliven't.
I'm 11th. I promise, guys, this is just millennial humor. Which technically, I guess we're not even millennials from what I've heard.
Fuck that. I'm a millennial, bro.
So basically what a lot of people have done nowadays, there's like this whole thing called Born Millennial. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Oh, what millennial?
A millennial.
Spell that out for me. I have no fucking idea what you're saying.
So Zillennial. Z as in Zeta. ILLENIL, or yeah, millennial. I don't know if I spelled that right, but basically it's millennial. Right, it's like millennial with the Z.
That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
Well, but hear me out. So typically people like to say that millennials are like up until like 94. Like everybody I've ever talked to is like, millennials are up until like 94. If you were born in 95 or like up to 2000, that's just not even, you're not a 90s kid. I'm just like, bitch, I fucking grew up in the 90s. What the hell do you mean? That being said, in addition to that, they're like Gen Z, but you really can't be a Gen Zer if you were born in the 90s. I mean, like, you don't really relate to the Gen Z, and you can relate to millennial, but it's like you're kind of like in this weird in-between space. So, like, basically people call themselves millennials if they were born from 95 to like 2000-ish.
All right, so I'm going to just fucking say no to everything you just said and explain it in a more reasonable, not dumb way. A millennial was born between the years of 1981 and 1996, which means we're both millennials. But we were born in the second half of that generation, so we're what some might call there's no real right word for it. I call it new age millennial, where we're like, or even neo millennial if you want to get all dumb sounding. But
It's too
like,
close to like being like a neo-Nazi. I'm good.
God, they really ruined that word, didn't they?
They did. They ruined the phrase neo
I
because
can't even watch The Matrix without getting pissed off now.
so, but
But
for good
no,
reasons.
but like the second half of millennials who they didn't experience a lot of the like 90s kid stuff that other millennials experienced, and they were born with and raised around technology, so they're more technologically savvy and online than early millennials.
Right.
So let's just call it that, early and late millennial. It's even something you see in like Gen X and even boomers. There's early and late because the late ones don't have the same experience, but they still have a lot of the same knowledge as the rest of their generation. Because like, yeah, we're late millennials. You use TikTok and shit. Kind of cringe, but that's not something early millennials would be as accepting of.
Right.
Understandably, I agree with them. It is cringe.
Well, honestly, I just followed because it to me is the closest thing to Vine that we have.
Yeah, I hated Vine too.
How Vine was amazing, dude. I love Vine.
Vine had like, for every one good Vine, there were 1,000 terrible ones that were just horrendous. And Vine unironically created the worst period in online media consumption history. Vine is the reason we have people like Tana Mojo or Mongoose or whatever her fucking name is, the Paul brothers.
So I would, to be fair, to be fair, Tana Mojo that wasn't a part of that. She was. I'm sure she was old enough to use it, but I don't think she was on Vine. Don't get me wrong. She came from that similar generation, but I don't think she was a direct result of Vine. But you are correct. The Paul brothers, and like a bunch of other fuckers. But to be fair, out of all the bad people that we got from Vine, we did get some really cool people like Matt Post, Zachary Piona is pretty funny. Um, I'm trying to think. I mean, David Dobrik was from Vine, and David
Ooh,
Dobrik's he's kind of problematic now though.
yeah, that's don't really want to take the credit for that one.
Yeah, I was he's pretty problematic now. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm trying to think of who else we got from that period. Curtis Lepore, but he's pretty problematic too. I'm pretty sure he's like a chomo.
There is
Um,
only one person from Vine that I recognize as valid, and that's
which
that.
is
Uh, I'm trying to figure out how to describe him. He's kind of a little chubby, has glasses and that weird arched haircut. I think on YouTube he goes by Lowlick or something.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
I'm trying to think of one of his classic. He's literally the kid that everyone says he does not miss. He is like a homing rocket. He does not miss ever. All of his bits are hilarious.
Is
Here,
this? I'm gonna say if you send it to me so I can see what you're talking about.
yeah, here's one of my favorite ones, or at least one of my a recognizable one, where he does the whole Johnny
Oh,
Johnny
okay.
meme.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's on TikTok now. He does like TikToks and shit.
Yeah, I only watch him on YouTube. I refuse to interact with TikTok. The only way I will ever consider joining TikTok is if someone like Bill Wirtz were to join TikTok.
There are a lot of people who join like TikTok. I mean, like I'm
Oh, I
trying to
know
think.
people have joined, but it's not enough to convince me.
Fair. Look, I don't know, man. Like I like TikTok. I think that there are very problematic people on TikTok. Which, speaking of, I'm not sure if you heard about this, but I feel like you'd get a kick out of this, and maybe our fans will too. But do you know who like Zoe Laverne is?
Zoe Laverne. Never heard of her, but I do like the last name Laverne. Reminds me of LeVar Burton.
Okay. Right.
All right.
I mean, pop off, but no. So Zoe Laverne, she's pretty problematic. She dated and had like very inappropriate interactions with like a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old.
You
And
know,
she's
I
like,
might have heard about her. Is she a Super Smash Brothers pro leaguer? Because apparently they have a real bad reputation for diddling kids.
so weird segue, first of all. Second of all, no, she's not a Super Smash Brothers Pro League player. What the fuck? She's a TikTok famous person. She like does like stupid dances, she like wears skimpy clothes and
Isn't
all
that
that
all
shit.
of them?
I mean, essentially, yes. Essentially.
TikTok dancing is like the modern day version of a Hitler salute. You see it in public and you want to execute those people.
You want the X, goddamn. But no, yeah. So look her up sometime. But no, she's pretty problematic. She's just like a TikToker. She does dumb shit. I mean, I don't know how else to explain her, but I follow a guy on TikTok. His name's Papa Gut. I'm sure you probably heard of him.
All right, Zoe Laverne, already right off the bat, an insider article. Quote, the controversies of a 19-year-old TikTok star, Zoe Laverne, who apologized for kissing her 13-year-old fan. I don't think I need to read any further. In fact, it looks like I won't be able to because Business Insider is like, hey, we're going to need you to turn off ad block. First off, fuck you. I'm not paying money to use your terrible website.
First of all, go fuck yourself. Second of all, but no, yeah. So you get the gist of it. I mean, she's pretty shitty, but like but basically she didn't get in trouble. Like there was no repercussions. Like she didn't get removed from the creator fund from TikTok. Because like you know how YouTube has like monetization, like TikTok has monetization too, and it's through like something called the Creator Fund.
That is just a depressing thought.
Yeah, there are people who make money off of TikToks, which I mean, pop off if you make money making TikToks. I mean, that's fine and dandy.
Like
But
OnlyFans, I get. I'm seeing your asshole. I will pay money. But getting paid money to do a Fortnite dance, no thank you.
well, you're not paying the money. I mean, it's like AdSense. I mean, you literally TikTok is so full of ads. Like every few TikToks on your feed is an ad. It's like Facebook, how like every 3 or 4 TikToks there's a fucking ad. And like, I mean, I've seen the numbers on it. It's actually really profitable. Like if you run an ad for like an hour and you're like, let's say you're in like Indiana and there's like 1 million people who use TikTok in Indiana, like on average, people like will watch like 100 to 150 TikToks like in a session. So like you have to think that like you're making fucking buku bucks if every couple minutes you can do that.
I there's so many things I want to say, but it's hard to say those things without coming across as just a horrible person. I mean, first off, the fact that you implicated yourself in using Facebook. What are you, 72?
When did I say I use Facebook?
Bro, you literally just talking about, you know how every third post on Facebook, who would know that except for a Facebook user?
Or ready? How about somebody who has
Okay,
a bachelor?
Steele.
Fuck off. Anyways, or how about somebody who has a bachelor's degree in literally fucking advertising marketing, and specifically social media marketing? This is the shit that I do. I literally have a bachelor's degree in social media marketing. So go fuck yourself.
I feel like that's a really roundabout way of saying I still use Facebook like an old man.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that I don't. Okay, so I'm not going to deny that I'm using Facebook, but what I'm
That's
saying is
almost as
that
bad as coming out as a neo-Nazi.
what I'm getting to is that the advertisement, the marketing that they do through TikTok is very profitable. That's all that I'm saying.
I get it, it makes sense. It reaches the youngest possible demographic who make up a majority of internet users. Cool.
Yep.
I'm still gonna shit on them for it.
No, that's fine. I think TikTok has a lot. That's fine. You can shit on them. I'm just saying that you have to at least moderately appreciate how smart they are with how they're doing like their advertising and basically how they make money.
Game respects game. Only way I
Exactly.
can put it.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. You can hate the player, but you can't hate the game.
I mean,
I hate the phrase "don't hate the player, hate the game." No, the game has rules. The players are assholes.
yeah, that's a pretty fair way of looking at it. Just because the player found a loophole in the system doesn't mean I'm not allowed to hate the game for putting the loophole there in the first place.
I mean, that might be true, but we're not talking about taxes. Anyways, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Really, it is though. Taxes is like a fucking minefield, which I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I started filing my taxes the other day, and I don't know how, but like I'm getting less back in taxes this year, even though I made more money and I paid more taxes than I did last year. So I'm getting less back in taxes this year because I'm not in school. Like I'm not actively receiving student loans, and I don't get that like an education credit. Even though I just got married, I'm still not getting like damn near as much money as I did last year, which I am pissed. But that's besides the point.
Damn, bro. I think the best way for me to interpret what you just said and regurgitate it in a more palatable way would be, damn, bro. The group of people who know how much money I have to pay in taxes, but still, making me figure it out myself, are skimming money from me. And okay, that was a really dumb way of putting it. Let me just say, joke's on you for expecting the government to actually give a shit and to give you fair tax compensation.
I mean, yeah, joke is on me. That's why Sauce over here doesn't work for a living. Fuck the government. No kidding.
Yeah, you literally expected the government to do the right thing. Someone forgot about MK Ultra.
True. For people who don't know MK Ultra, they used it was a video game and like hallucinogenics, wasn't it? To try and like what were they trying to accomplish? But I know it was like video games and like LSD or some shit.
No, it was mostly LSD and brainwashing techniques where they would like put these people into induced comas and like play audio into their ears nonstop. And let's just say there's a lot of people nowadays who are still fucked up from the experiments. We're talking like perpetually bad tripping forever.
Shit, same. Life is a bad trip.
Oh yeah, and the worst part was they never got compensated for that. Literally, the government was just like, "Oh yeah, we experimented on you without your permission. Whoopsie. I don't know. Be homeless.
Go fuck
Eat out of
yourself?
a dumpster.
Question mark.
You don't like it? Maybe move to Mexico."
Get killed by the Mexican cartel for your organs?
It's like, man, I really had more hope, but then I realized it's the U.S. government we're talking about. There was no hope to begin with.
True. Fucking true. Oh man. Anyways,
We should probably talk about something gaming related.
yeah. So let's besides MK Ultra and TikTok, let's talk about some television movie related shit. Specifically the Uncharted movie. Let's get some thoughts from the man himself, Salsa.
Yeah. All right.
I opened the floor for you to talk about the Uncharted movie.
Sorry, I didn't hear you because right when you said that, I dropped my phone and it made a really loud noise, and I kind of, lost track. Okay, so Uncharted. There's not really much to say so far. All we know for certain is that they have Tom Holland, also known as Spider-Man, who is really young, doesn't really look like Nathan Drake at all, and it seems, I don't know, unusual, given that the obvious choice for, Nathan Drake would have been, I don't know, the guy who plays him in the games, the voice actor, who looks kind of like Nathan Drake. I think it's Nolan North.
Yeah, I think so.
Or even better, Nathan Fillion, who looks like Nathan Drake, kind of sounds like him, and has always said he would like to be Nathan Drake in a movie. Instead, they went with some British kid who looks nothing like him, doesn't sound like him. In my opinion, I think it was a bad move, and it's not going to pan out well. It's going to be a bad movie. Or at the very least, just a cheap money grab. It's meant to draw people in based on the name, Uncharted. And then when they get there, it's just going to be hours of some boring Tomb Raider-esque story with no real importance. It's cheaply made, and I don't know. That's all I have to say.
No, I agree. I think there are definitely better people to play it, but I think that maybe if it was, maybe if they were like doing like a younger conversation or like a younger situation, maybe different. But if they're going like older Nathan Drake, kind of like the more modern games, I think Tom Holland would be a poor choice.
I think I read that it is going to be based on like the prequel to Uncharted, like a more younger Nathan Drake. But even then, he seems a little like an unusual choice because he doesn't really sound like Nathan Drake. And he's
Right.
not really young enough to play like, I don't know if you've played any of the Uncharted games. I played 1 and 2, and I think currently I'm like halfway through 3. But in 3, you get to see Nathan Drake as a kid. And I don't know, he's not young
Okay.
enough to play that Nathan Drake. So it kind of makes me worry that they're going to do like a 20-year-old Nathan Drake, and then in like the next movie it's going to be like a 30-year-old Nathan Drake with a new character, like a new actor, and it's just not going to look good contextually.
Right. So do we know when it's supposed to like happen? Like I know we said that we assume that it's going to be younger, but have we heard any information like about the plot itself, like how it's supposed to fit in with the games?
I am not sure. To be honest, I put this segments into the script like months ago, and since then I haven't really been paying too much attention. So let's see. Prequel to the games, starring Holland as a younger Drake, showing us details of how he came to meet and befriend Sully, which worries me because the segment in Uncharted 3 where he's like a teenager, and that's when he meets and befriends Sully. So I kind of think, I don't know, I think it's a bad fit, but who knows? Maybe it'll turn out okay.
Gotcha. So hopefully, don't get me wrong, I like Uncharted, but I don't know like a whole shit ton about Uncharted. But I guess fingers crossed that it's going to be good. But like you said, there's not like a whole. I feel like there's not like much information. Did they ever even put out like a trailer or anything?
I don't know about a trailer, but I know for a fact they put out some photos from set.
I gotcha.
Like,
So no trailer, but like photos that some like creeper took from like 500 yards away.
I don't know. There's like a really good professionally done one that they put out themselves. Here, I'm gonna save it and then send it to you over Discord.
Okay.
'Cause don't get me wrong, I think he looks pretty good. Like, wait, what the fuck did I do? I have, you know what? I don't know. Just click on that. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna do. I thought it saved as like a. It should have saved as like a JPEG or something. Instead, it saved as an HTML file, and now I have a weird directory in my files that I'm probably gonna have to delete and scan for viruses later. Thanks, IMDb.
Yeah, so it won't open. It says open in Zoom. I'm not gonna open this shit. Why would I open it in Zoom? Like, what the fuck?
That worries me more. Here,
Right? Like, open in Zoom, a completely unrelated app.
oh yes, can you please open me with Adobe Flash Player 12? Um,
Can you please open me with calculator?
here we go. This is a JPEG. Thank God. Titled image.jpg. High quality.
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen that. I thought that was. Okay, yeah, so I thought that was like a fan image.
If it is, it's a really well done fan image. Because usually they don't get that close to sets.
I was gonna say, well, no, I don't mean like a fan image, but like I mean like somebody like cropped it or some shit.
Damn if I know, bro. All I know is I don't know. Could be good, could be bad. I'm going to hope that it's not too bad. They did have Mark Wahlberg as Sully, which is kind of a weird choice.
Maybe as a young Sully, because I know like in the game, Sully's kind of older, and he like.
Oh yeah, he's like 50s, 60s maybe. What I do know is Mark Wahlberg's mustache in this movie looks very off-putting.
Which movie? Like, there's a picture of him from Uncharted.
Yeah, I think so.
Send it to me. I need to see this mustache.
Uncharted movie mustache. Oh, please. Oh, yeah, here it is. You're going to get a kick out of this picture. Oh, no, not copy. Save as. Okay, I like that. It's saved as wall.png.
Nice.
All right, there we go. Look at this dude.
What the fuck? He looks like a rocker. He looks like a creeper, dude.
I just want to know where he took this picture from. He's like in an all whites, clean, looks like a quarantine room in a wife beater.
Honestly,
A Mario mustache.
I bet that is like his like trailer or some shit, or like the makeup trailer or something.
Oh man. All I know is he's a weird choice for the role, but I think he could be good. Because if you don't know, like, you don't know much about Uncharted. So
I know like a very like I would say that my knowledge of it is pretty minute. It's just very very basic information.
I think the best way to explain it to you is Uncharted was a kind of like Tomb Raider, but instead of a woman, a man. And instead of being so serious, it's a very witty, quick comeback kind of game. Every other, I think the best way to put it is the main character, Nathan Drake, is literally Nathan Fillion from like any of his good movies or like Firefly, where he's literally always got a witty comeback that's I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a very funny game. It gets serious at times and has a lot of mystical elements like Tomb Raider does.
Right.
But it still manages to interject humor here and there to keep things kind of new.
I got you.
Interesting, to say the least.
Well, I was gonna say the what was it called? Fuck, they did like a fan film, didn't they?
Oh yeah, with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. So I thought that they made like a fan film of like him doing some shit or whatever the fuck it was.
I mean, the fan film was pretty accurate, what with him being like beaten up by a mob guy and still cracking jokes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember that because oh man, who was it? Didn't he like help like fund that whole fan film because he was like I want to be Nathan Drake.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's like, yo man, I want to be Nathan Drake. Let's do this.
I mean, even the guy that got to play Sully in that was a pretty good choice, a good fit. Can't remember who it was, though.
I have no idea. I haven't even actually watched the whole thing. I just remember watching the beginning where he's like tied to the chair. That's pretty much the only part that I've seen.
It's worth it to watch the whole thing. It's honestly better than the new movie will probably be.
Probably. But so basically where we're left off is that we don't really know too much about like what's going to happen with this film. We only know a couple of, who's going to be in it. But we're hopeful. We're hopeful. Basically is where we're at.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the only thing to say is I have faith it'll be a watchable movie. And I hope that it will actually be good. Like, there's not a lot of good video game movies, as you're aware.
Of course.
Like, in your opinion, real quick, name 3 good video game movies.
I mean, I liked what was it called? I liked the first Resident Evil movie. I mean, I like all the Resident Evil movies, but if I had to give you like my favorite one, the first one. The Mortal Kombat movie is kind of I like it. I know it's like really campy and cheesy and shit, but I like it. I'm trying to think of a third one.
That's the hard part.
I would say because I typically when somebody says like name a good one, I'm like I know the Mortal Kombat movie was kind of weird, but it was at least watchable. Resident Evil was pretty good. Obviously, the House of the Dead movies were pretty trash. Trying to think.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. There's not really you named. There's not much else, to be honest. I'll give you my opinion, which is the 3 best, most accurate video game movies that I know of are obviously Mortal Kombat. As goofy and terrible as they were so bad they were good. And
exactly.
It was actually pretty accurate for the first, 3 games. Because the first 3 games were just absurd.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, is that, like, the Mortal Kombat movie is really off and weird, but that's how the games are. I mean, like, how else can you say it? And what's a couple of ones that you like?
Resident Evil, but not the live-action ones. The live-action ones were maybe good as standalone movies, but they were bad Resident Evil. They were nothing like the games. So if I'm going to give it to a Resident Evil movie, it would have to be the animated ones, which is a tough one because they're not live action. But we will have a new Resident Evil movie in the future.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's one coming to Netflix like March.
Yeah, I'm not going to recommend that one based on everything I've read.
But I know that there's going to be a live action one coming in the near future, obviously, like in probably next year or so, maybe a little bit longer.
It looks pretty good. I think the person they chose to play Leon, it's kind of a weird choice because historically Leon is a very pale white guy with very white guy mannerisms.
I mean, he is a white guy. I mean,
Exactly.
what do you
He
want from him?
he literally showed up drunk on his first day to work wearing like the goofiest fit I've ever seen. That's white boy. But no, I have faith because even if he doesn't look like traditional Leon, I think it'll be a good step in the right direction towards making an actually good live action adaptation. But my third choice is going to be a little controversial. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And a lot of people might agree with it, but there's also a lot of people who will say it's bad. But in my opinion, it is the most accurate video game movie we've had so far because Sonic looks like Sonic, he runs like Sonic, he talks like Sonic, and it really doesn't do a lot that would throw off the video game universe. Even though it is literally I forget the name of the guy who plays the human friend in the movie, the human main character.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff. Like he's like in X-Men. He plays Cyclops.
But more importantly, he's in every movie like Sonic, where it's a human guy and an animal CGI character who have to save the day. Like he was in Hop, he was in Alvin and the Chipmunks.
He wasn't he?
He's literally been in all of these different. Oh, what was that one?
Yeah, it's his name's James Marsden. Let's see. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm looking here. He was in a
The
movie
Boss
called
Baby.
Robot and Frank. He was in Hop, Cats and Dogs, Revenge of Kitty Galore.
Yo, he was in a Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah, he was for the nacho fries, if I remember right.
I mean, mad respect because nacho fries are bomb.
True. I think that's it. I think it's just those three movies. Yeah, I don't see anything else. That's wild though.
I
See,
mean,
James Marsden, he used to be like an actor for like he used to do like what's it called? Used to do like soap operas if I remember right for a while. But then he did like X-Men and everything else.
wasn't he like Cyclops in the X-Men?
He was. He played Cyclops or
Scott Summers.
whatever. Yeah, Scott Summers. I couldn't remember the fucker's name. But he played Scott Summers in like all the X-Men movies, including Days of the Future Past, which arguably is probably my favorite X-Men movie.
He's such a forgettable character, Cyclops.
I liked him. I liked him as Cyclops. I mean, he kind of like dies in the third one.
Well, I don't like him because it's such a boring power, and then in every movie he's just such an not even a do-gooder character. He's literally just a douchebag, where he does stuff like, "Huh, okay, Wolverine, you dumb face, you poopy head," and then Wolverine just looks at him and says, "Fuck off," which causes him to faint because he's such a soy boy.
He's such a sweet boy.
But shit. But yeah, you
Trying
get
to.
my point. The dude's been
Sorry.
typecast as a weird like human friend
Right.
to CGI animals.
Not for real. Anyways, let's see. We can cover probably one more thing so that way we can stay under the time that we have here. Last of Us HBO show.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
So you're gonna have to kind of give me some information about this one because I obviously had heard about the Uncharted movie, but I really didn't know anything about this one.
Well, let me look it up. quick because, again, this is something that I put on here a while ago. According to the current IMDb listing, it is Joel, and Ellie, a pair connected through the harshness of the world they live in, are forced to endure brutal circumstances and ruthless killers on a trek across post-pandemic America. Creators Neil Druckmann. So that's a bit of a drawback. Because Druckmann is kind of a ooh.
You said Neil Druckmann?
Yeah. You probably don't know, but he's the guy who's in charge of the project at Naughty Dog Studios. The one who famously was recorded as saying, "Here we do not like to think about. We don't like to use the word fun when we describe the game." And literally everyone clowned on him for the rest of time because then he turned around and made Watchdog or Last of Us 2, which historically is pretty hotly contested as, hot garbage.
Fair. I like The Last of Us 2, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, so he did got a lot of problems, as we can agree on that much.
I'll say, yeah, his history is mostly as a writer for a bunch of different shit. I'm saying he was a director for a couple things, and then I see the director. He's shown as a director for the upcoming film, the Last of Us TV series. Now, I will say this: is that if it is going to be an HBO show, that definitely opens it up for a lot of different stuff. So I like that.
I have faith that at the very least they can make a palatable TV show, kind of like The Walking Dead.
Right, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Because it's not easy to make a zombie show now that The Walking Dead exists. They've kind of filled that market.
That's what I was going to say, is that The Walking Dead, it is a very unique show, and it's exactly what you said. They've already filled that niche of, like, oh, you need a really like gritty, movie about zombies. Okay, cool. We have that for you.
But I mean, outside of that,
I'm trying to think. I was looking. I was trying to see if there's any information about it, but there's really not.
Yeah, no, it's literally just the storyline, and that's it. Its popularity, though, it's dropping for some reason. Apparently, people are not excited to see this.
See, here's the deal: is I feel like people probably got shitty with like the Last of Us movie, and they're just like, "Go fuck yourself, guys."
Perhaps. I mean,
perhaps. What the fuck do you mean, perhaps? I swear to God. Anyways, here's what I want to say though, because I just kind of want to close this off here because I know that you probably got to go eat some food here in a sec. But fingers crossed about The Last of Us. They were able to turn a book into a very awesome TV series that everybody loves. They were able to create The Walking Dead. HBO has made some other shit too, which has turned out to be very fruitful projects. So I don't know. I feel like if anybody can do what they want to do with this, then it'll be them, if I have to say so.
Yeah, I think they have a pretty good chance. Didn't they also do Game of Thrones?
That's what I just said.
I thought you said Walking Dead.
No, it's a Game of Thrones. Walking Dead's AMC.
Whatever. Point is, Game of Thrones was good in the beginning, but I have heard nothing but bad things about how it ended.
That's what I can say. Game of Thrones had those issues where like it was good up until the end, from what everybody says.
So I mean, either that means they're good at starting something and not finishing it, or maybe they're now in like their bad period.
To be fair, though, with Game of Thrones, they didn't have all of the material to work with at once, but with The Last of Us, they do. They already have all the information that's already there.
Yeah, but then again, you know these people love taking creative liberties, and you know how
Sure.
well that works out.
That's what I was gonna say. Is if as long as they stick pretty close to the source material, I feel like they'll be fine. Because part of the issue with Game of Thrones, at least from what I understand, is that whoever the fuck does those books, like he hasn't finished the series yet. So basically, their series finale was just like was off script in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that figures. I mean, the dude literally loves to just not write, despite being a writer.
Fair.
Which I feel that. I love not doing shit.
I mean, same. I also enjoy doing absolutely nothing.
So yeah,
But
I guess that's about it. There's not much
yeah,
else we can really say about Last of Us.
I was gonna say. I mean, we've talked about the Last of Us before. I mean, we both like the first game. Salsa has some differing opinion on the second game. But just generally speaking, I feel like it could be good. Just really what it depends on is if HBO can get their shit together and make a good show. The team that they have, the director is somebody I've never heard of, so maybe he's done some good shit before. Who knows? But anyways, fingers crossed. I know we talked a lot about the Uncharted movie. We talked a little bit about the Last of Us TV show. And then we also talked a lot about some random shit, such as I don't remember what the fuck we talked about at the beginning.
Who's to say? I've honestly forgot already.
I see. That's the worst thing is that like when I go to like edit these and I go to like put up like a banner for them or whatever on YouTube, the title, I always forget what we talked about. So,
It do be like that.
but anyways, I'll do a little close out here, guys. So if you guys want to catch us out elsewhere, I know this episode was a little off kilter, a little hectic, if you will, but you know it is what it is. But if you guys want to see some more of this, check us out online on Facebook. That is facebook.com/try the stew. Or if you just search Try the Stew, it'll pull up with our page on Facebook. And you're probably wondering, why can't I just search Geek-Stew? It's because there are other people out there who somehow have the same idea. I don't know. I don't know, man. Or if you guys are interested, you can give us a like and a subscribe here on YouTube. You can hit the notification bell to stay up to date. In addition to that, you can follow us on Twitter. That is at geek_stew. Best place to get in touch with us is Twitter. I feel like that's the one that we moderate the most, or at least I moderate the most. And then you can follow Salsa on Twitter if you want to see some fuckery. It is at Salsa Shark Jr. Or you can follow me on Twitter. It is at Pint Size Beast. That'll keep you up to date on all the stuff that we're doing here. So fun stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And Salsa, go ahead and give us some closing words.
What can I say? I know what I'll say. In these trying times, you have to find every little thing that makes you happy, even if it is the dumbest thing there is. And I'll tell you one thing that's kept me surprisingly sane in these tough times, and that is pretending I am Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't do a good impersonation, but here we go. Boy. That is all. See you next time, Space Cowboy.